He could possibly do a lot of damage here. But then again, I don't know, I've been surprised before of the strength of Marauders, so... Looks like somebody realized that the guys are trapped. So Cooper is going to take these Hydralisks and run away from those tanks. Not a bad idea, since Cooper cannot actually see what is how much stuff he actually has, even though there's a pretty good possibility that he could have beat them. So looks like Cooper's going to go back and macro a bit more, knowing that Soup is only on 2 bases at most. So I'm going to speed this up a bit while they build a bunch of guys. Soup transfers a bunch of SCVs once the main is mined out. Not a problem. Cooper is building 14 Mutalisks, and they're all almost done. Have double Evo chambers to get those critical upgrades out. Looks like he's getting the plus melee and Carapace. As it looks like Cooper's build is going to be a Mutaling Hydra build, or possibly a Mutaling Bling Hydra. Mutaling Bling, yeah. So yeah, so it looks like he's going to get some more Banelings, and I don't know if these Zerglings are supposed to be Banelings or if they're just there for whatever purpose they serve. So Cooper's 4th base is up at the gold, doesn't have any guys mining from it yet. And Cooper has a pretty solid hold over the minimap. He has a lot of guys spread out to see wherever Soup might expand or push out from. He is holding both Xel'Naga towers, so if Soup goes by ground, he's going to be able to see it. Okay, I'm going to slow this back down a bit. Cooper has these Mutalisks looking to harass possibly if in the main, except there's not very much stuff in the main for him to harass, and I don't think he knows that. No, he doesn't really know that there's almost nothing here to destroy, so let's see. Usually you want to get SCVs with Mutalisks, but we'll see what else he goes for with this harass. Okay, so here we go. He's going to attack the SCVs first that are mining the gas, which means that it will be harder for Soup to get Thors and siege tanks. And it looks like he's going to target supply depots next. And Soup is currently supply blocked because one supply depot did go down. So it's going to be a little bit harder for Soup to adapt to this. And it looks like Cooper's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place between this Viking and a bunch of Marines. So the Mutalisks are gonna run away, and while it doesn't really look like much, but I think that Cooper did a lot of damage with this. He prevented all gas from mining in the main, and he did supply block Soup. So not only can Soup not react as quickly to that, but he's not going to have very much gas to do it, since he's technically only on 1 base as far as gas goes, and he only has 1 miner on 1 refinery. So with these Thors and siege tanks, it's going to be kind of hard, and Vikings, it's going to be hard for him to pay for all this. Except he does have this 3rd up. Oh, well, not up, he's just starting. While Cooper is really only on 3 base. Okay, so he is taking a bunch of drones and sending them to the gold. So I could say now that he's on 4 bases. Soup does scan Cooper's stuff and sees a bunch of Lings, Blings, and Hydras. He knows that there's Mutas out, so we'll see how Cooper reacts to Soup reacts to this. He could go for Mech, which could potentially be very good against this. Blue Flame Hellions could tear up all these Marines and Lings, while the siege tanks can deal with the Hydralisks. Thors and Marines could deal with Mutalisks. So we'll see if that's the build he chooses. Looks like these Vikings are going to scout out, possibly take out some Overlords, but there are not any Overlords down here. And this Spire, which has been weakened by the Banshee harass, could possibly be the target if Soup decides to land these Vikings. He knows that the Spire is weakened because he did attack it earlier, so he might be going for the kill on that. Cooper doesn't realize that these Vikings are here, and he does land the Vikings, or at least 3 of them. Here comes the 4th, which he is going to land. So, and he's going to what is he going to go for? So, looks like he is going for the Spire. The Spire is probably going to go down before Cooper's going to be able to react to it. Spire does go down. We'll see if any of these other tech structures can go down before Cooper's going to react to this. But it looks like the fleet has arrived. The Armada is here, and I don't think these Vikings can take out all this stuff. And if they can, geez, Vikings are overpowered. God. But no, looks like this game is balanced, and those Vikings went down pretty quickly. Cooper can basically see every base except for this one here, and he implicitly has control of that one because it's within his circle of sight. But okay, so the Beetles are going to harass a little bit more, and he's going to target a factory, so it's going to be harder for him to get those siege tanks and Thors out, which looks like it's going to be the centerpiece of his build, siege tanks and Thors. But he does have another factory down here, so even if it does go down, which it does, he's still going to be okay as far as building mech units goes. Supply is 176 to 153, so this is still a fairly even game, even though Cooper is ahead by 1 base. And Soup does have this 3rd down, which he could saturate at any time. And it looks like Soup is going to be building a wall in his natural, which could prove to be very helpful. Because if he does wall this off, and he does place siege tanks and all of his ranged units behind it, then Cooper's melee units, his Banelings and his Zerglings, will not be able to attack as well if he does choose to attack that wall, that potential wall rather. So Soup is going to move out. He is going to finally see that there is a gold base here, and these Mutalisks are caught a little bit out of position, and it looks like this gold base is going to go down. Focusing down the hatchery, and Cooper's army is going to move in. Here comes the battle of the century as far as this matchup goes. And this is lagging my computer so much. The Banelings hitting all the infantry units. The Thors getting taken out mostly by these Hydras, and the siege tanks are going to be dealt with by the rest of the army that Cooper has. So Cooper is, wow, he is at 157 to 52 for Soup, and how much of that is drones? Only 38 drones from Cooper. Wow, 37 now, but still, that means that most of his supply is stuck in army, or at least potential army. Yeah, so he's building 40 plus Zerglings to reinforce his stuff. Now he's capped 200, whereas Soup is only at 63. So once he reaches 200, then he could attack and basically roll over Soup. But I don't know if he's going to actually do that or not. He does not know about this 3rd, but he could probably assume that it is up and running. And it seems as though Cooper's going to sit back and macro for a little bit, even though he is maxed. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit more. Probably have saved enough time with this, but it's just for good measure. Soup is continuing this wall, but he doesn't really have any units to hide behind it, so it could be all for naught. No orbital command or planetary fortress at this 3rd. Can't even get a planetary fortress, so no orbital. Soup is caught up with Marines, Marauders, some Banshees, a Thor, and that's it. Soup is having a little bit of difficulty trying to recover from that attack, and for some reason Cooper is sitting back and macroing here. Even though he is maxed, he's basically letting Soup rebuild after that devastating attack he had. Cooper going for the double expand, so the whole top left of this map is taken by Cooper so far. And what are the upgrades for Cooper? It's 2 and 2, 2. Okay. And for Soup is 0 and 1. Okay. So Cooper is a little bit ahead in the upgrade count. So Soup is... looks like he is trying to hide behind this wall. But even with the wall there, Cooper is still doubling him in supplies, so it's going to be difficult. Pretty difficult to fight it off, even with the wall. Cooper's taking these mutalisks around, possibly doing some more harass, except this time he does know that there's almost nothing in the main, so he could go for the natural, which is a little bit more risky because Soup has all of his stuff there, but he could target supply depots or add-ons and such. So it looks like the Grand Army of the Republic is moving out, mostly comprised of Zerglings, Banelings, and Hydralisks, which is an interesting combo, I'll give it that, but it looks like it's very, very effective. At least that's what we've seen so far against Soup. So Cooper is going to be moving around the bottom to possibly flank this wall from below, or most likely go for that third base. Okay, so it looks like that's what he's doing. He is separating his guys out a little bit, but not too much. Okay, Cooper is sending in his links into the mineral line. It's going to do a lot of economic damage, and, well, economic damage is really done. It's going to be doing a lot of damage in general. Soup is going to be moving out with all of his stuff. Thor's Marines and siege tanks are going to be trying to defend this, but I don't think... I doubt that Soup has all the stuff that he needs to be able to deal with this. Cooper's getting a big surround on these Marauders and Thors, while the Hydras is doing the rest. So Cooper is at 180, Soup is at 39, and I don't think Soup is going to be able to hold this. Soup does GG, and that was game 2 of round 2 of the OBTL1. Cooper does take the series and is going to advance. Unfortunately, Soup is going to be knocked out. Even though we've seen a lot of great play from both of these players, I mean, one of them had to go, so it's too bad. So, we'll see you guys later.